Let's start with the trap. Many nomads trade away upside for immediate cash by undercharging, or they say yes to promising startups with no guardrails and end up burned out, unpaid, or stuck when the equity never materializes. You've likely felt it. Excited about potential upside, but worried you'll lose steady income or your freedom. That's why equity for work is tempting and dangerous at the same time. Done right, it amplifies your returns without killing your cash flow. Done wrong, it eats your time and gives you illiquid paper in return. In the next 9 minutes, I'll give you a tight, practical playbook, a 3-step blueprint to qualify deals, structure cash plus equity terms with milestone vesting, and deliver in a low-burn way that protects your travel-friendly schedule. I'll walk a real nomad case, Leah, who turned a small retainer plus equity into predictable income without sacrificing weekends. And before you leave, you'll have a 72-hour checklist so you can pitch one safe deal this week. First, what is equity for work, and when does it actually make sense? Equity for work is a negotiated arrangement where you provide strategic services, marketing, growth, product market fit support, or fractional leadership, in exchange for a combination of cash and equity. The cash portion keeps your lights on. The equity provides upside if the company scales or exits. Consider 3 signals that make equity worth considering. The startup shows early traction, consistent MRR growth or retention metrics. The founders demonstrate realistic runway and investor interest, and the gap you fill is strategic, meaning your work directly increases valuation or revenue. If a client is pre-product or has no traction at all, push for a higher cash floor or say no. Equity isn't a gamble you should take when it cannibalizes your stability. Now, the core, a simple 3-step action blueprint you can use immediately. Step 1, qualify deals and set a cash floor. Step 2, structure terms, cash plus equity with milestone-based vesting and basic liquidity protections. Step 3, deliver for upside, using modular scopes, templates, and KPI-driven milestones to protect time. Step 1, qualify and protect cash flow. Start with a short checklist. 1. Do they have at least 3 months of runway or investor interest? 2. Is the role strategic? Will your work move valuation or top line? 3. Are the founders open to clear milestones and a minimum monthly retainer? If any answer is no, require a larger cash retainer or pass. For retainer math, aim for a cash floor that covers your minimum monthly target. A practical formula: minimum retainer equals your monthly living plus business buffer divided by the number of clients you want to keep. Alternatively, charge 30 to 50% of your full project rate as a baseline retainer. The goal is simple. No equity replaces your ability to pay rent and maintain mobility. Step 2. Structure terms so upside is real and risk is limited. Key elements to negotiate: a clear cash plus equity split. For many freelancers, that looks like a modest retainer plus a small equity stake, single-digit percentage points where appropriate. Milestone-based vesting tied to measurable KPIs, a short cliff or milestone condition for the first vest, and a basic liquidity clause, for example, a buyback or a payout on an acquisition or funding event. Don't accept open-ended vesting, where equity vests only on exit. Tie it to performance. Deliver X% equity when revenue or user targets are hit, another tranche when a funding round closes, and so on. Use plain, protective contract language. Define scope in modular deliverables. Set maximum hours per sprint. Include a termination clause that returns unvested equity, and insist on a confidentiality and IP clause that protects both sides. And please, add a line recommending a short consult with a startup-savvy attorney before signing anything that includes equity. A good template will save you from vague promises that become unpaid work. Step 3. Deliver for upside and guard your energy. Break the project into modular sprints with measurable KPIs. Example modules: Sprint 1, Discovery and Baseline Metrics. Sprint 2, Growth Experiment A. Sprint 3, Product Marketing Alignment. Sprint 4, Handoff and Playbooks. Put a hard cap on hours per sprint and use templates and reusable playbooks so you're not reinventing the wheel. Track 3 core metrics for each deal that map to value: revenue lift, CAC reduction or activation rate. Hit the metrics, you trigger vesting. Miss them, you reset expectations. This keeps focus tight and scope limited. Let me give you a real Nomad example, so this isn't just theory. Meet Leah, a growth consultant who travels between Lisbon and Bali. Leah negotiated a $2,000 per month retainer plus 1.5% equity in a seed stage marketplace. She required milestone vesting, 0.5% after a validated growth experiment that increased trial conversion by 20%. Leah's choices illustrate the guardrails that matter. A cash floor that covered her nomad lifestyle, milestone vesting tied to measurable outcomes, subcontracting to avoid overload, and clear caps on hours. She didn't take everything on herself, and she didn't accept vague promises, and that's why the equity had value and didn't cost her weekends. Here's an immediate 72-hour action checklist you can use now. 1. Identify one target startup that meets the traction signals we covered. 2. Draft a short pitch that offers a clear cash plus equity split and proposes 3 measurable KPIs tied to vesting. 3. Prepare a 1-page module plan that caps hours per sprint. 4. Schedule a discovery call this week and attach your basic term sheet template. Keep it short, professional, and focused on outcomes. Curious. Before I close, quick risks and mitigations recap. Equity can be illiquid or worthless. Mitigate by requiring a cash floor and structuring milestone vesting. Misaligned incentives can cost you time. Mitigate with KPI-linked tranches and capped hours. Legal and tax complexity. Mitigate by adding a basic term sheet, recommending legal counsel, and avoiding messy jurisdictions until you consult an expert. These are practical guardrails, not fear-based rules. If you want templates, sample term sheets, and a step-by-step module to build your first safe equity for work offer, I created a short course module with downloadable contract snippets and pitch templates. It walks you through scripts to use on discovery calls and gives the exact KPI language that triggers vesting. Go check the course link in the show notes and use the materials to pitch one safe deal this week. That's your high-income blueprint for today. Take one action this week and start seeing results. And remember, your skills are your freedom currency. Charge what you're worth, build income that supports your lifestyle, not destroys your health.